Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's Monday, it's time for a quick Disney Plus News Roundup where I'm going to be talking about Bluey and much more. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So let's start off with one of the biggest shows right now on Disney Plus, which is Bluey. And if you're a fan of the show, you can now go into Disney Plus's profile section and you can now pick a new avatar. There's 4 to choose from, including Bluey. So if you enjoy the show, so there's definitely a way of showing off. I'm sure there's going to be lots of families all around the world that are going to end up having all of their icons changed to each one representing a member of the family. So I think that's definitely be something that's pretty cool. So that one got added last week. Obviously they did add a load of new episodes onto Disney Plus around the world, except for in Australia. But yeah, so there's definitely something to do. But have you changed your avatar icons over to Bluey? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about Percy Jackson and the Olympians, because Disney has released a new poster of the brand new series, which is going to be coming to Disney Plus at a later date. So this poster doesn't really have too much with it, but it's also going to be used on bags at San Diego Comic-Con. I suspect the plan was maybe for there to be like a big panel and some big reveal. Now, whether or not they do release the trailer this week because of San Diego Comic-Con taking place, or whether or not they're just going to hold it back, I probably personally would say you might as well just hold it back. If you're not at the event, you might as well not get swallowed up in it. But it definitely looks like there was plans to do something with the fact of them having this poster and kind of merch at the event. So yeah, it's probably going to be a while until we see it. I'm not expecting to see it this year. We'll expect to see it next year when it arrives on Disney Plus. They've already filmed it. They're doing all the special effects and stuff right now, but there's going to be no promotion on this show at all. No one's going to be talking about it. There'll be no writers, no directors, no anything like that. So I'm kind of guessing they're not really going to be doing a lot for a while. But it just seemed a bit random to have this one come out. But like I said, I think it had something to do with the San Diego merchandise. They kind of had to put that poster out. But yeah, hopefully we find out some more about it soon. But I think we're probably not going to be hearing a huge amount on these kind of shows for a while. But are you excited about the new Percy Jackson series? Let me know in the comments below. Disney has announced a brand new film from 20th Century Studios called The Quiz Lady. Is going to be arriving on Disney Plus around the world, on Star Plus in Latin America, and on Hulu in the United States on the 3rd of November. This brand new original film is a brilliant but tightly wound game show obsessed young woman, Anne, who is played by Awkwafina, and her estranged train wreck of her sister Jenny, who is played by Sandra Oh, and they must work together to help cover their mother's gambling debts. But when Anne's beloved dog is kidnapped, they set off on a wild cross-country trek to get the cash the only way they know how, by turning Anne into a bona fide game show champion. Also got to see some new images from this upcoming film. I hadn't really heard anything about this one. This kind of just came out of nowhere. So yeah, it's going to be a kind of an interesting film to watch on Disney Plus and on like Hulu. Though I'm in that point now, like I would like to know when we're going to get this merger thing, because it'll be a lot easier for me to talk about. But nevertheless, yeah, we are going to be getting that one in November. I like both actresses. Sandra Oh was always fantastic in Grey's Anatomy. And I like the idea of kind of just doing something different, to kind of, especially with the fact that the kidnapped dog in there as well. It sounds fun. I'll give it a go. It definitely kind of feels like a film that would go straight to streaming. Though maybe it could have pulled in a little bit at the box office. But nevertheless, let me know. Excited about this brand new film? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about Star Wars, because Disney has announced that 6 new episodes of the brand new animated series Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures will be arriving on Disney Plus around the world on August the 2nd. You've already got 7 episodes which were dropped on May the 4th. There's 25 episodes in this series, very much aimed at young kids. I think this is a great show to kind of get young fans into Star Wars, you know, something a little bit more in the line of like Spidey and his amazing friends, of what that's doing for Marvel side of things. So I think this is really cool. But yeah, so if you kids enjoy that show, that will be coming soon. But for us adults, we just have to wait a couple more weeks then after that to get Ahsoka. But let me know, excited about Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's now shift to some Marvel news, because Disney has announced that Miss Marvel, the Disney Plus series, is going to be airing on the ABC network in the United States on Saturday the 5th of August. We'll be getting 3 episodes at 8 p.m. and it runs through to 9 p.m. And then there's going to be another 3 episodes dropped the following week on Saturday the 12th of August. This is all part of the wonderful world of Disney that you'll find on ABC. So there's a couple of things to think of for this. Obviously, this is going to be the first full Marvel series from Disney Plus to arrive on linear. I think this is a good idea for multiple levels. First off, more people can watch the show. It's a very good marketing ploy to get people more aware of Miss Marvel ahead of the new Marvels film coming out in November. I think that's a key thing that maybe he's getting lost in this. It's just great advertisement for that upcoming film and just getting people into it. Content for ABC. I'm surprised we're not going to see more of this coming on. I'm also a bit surprised they went with the 3 episodes at a drop, and maybe that was a way that they could do it with the timing, because the problem with a lot of these Disney Plus series is they're not kind of, length is right for linear, so there's a little bit icky in terms of how they put it all together. But I think this is good. I think this is a good way of kind of using up content. More people can watch the show. It's win-win-win right now. And like, obviously with the way that linear is going, I think we're going to see more content being shared onto those channels for a while Disney still have those channels. But that's a whole other story. But, you know, do you think it's a good idea for Miss Marvel to be airing on ABC next month? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, we got a great question here from Xbox Fan. How do you feel, Roger, if they had a section on the app where you could see future cinema releases and trailers, cast interviews and hype panels, and so promote their theatrical releases? Even make it so you can buy cinema tickets straight through the app, and a link to relevant Shop Disney merch as well, and a section dedicated to the theme parks and Disney travel. There is some fantastic ideas there. Now, the whole thing with Shop and Disney, they have been experimenting with that on some shows in the US. If you click on it, you'll get, like, for Indiana Jones and The Mandalorian, it would show. I'm surprised they don't do more of that, to be fair. With regards to trailers, they do put a section in there for new films. So if you want to watch like the Haunted Mansion trailer and Elio, they're all in there. But yeah, it would be nice to maybe have a section that they're all in one place and be like, you know, the trouble is I feel like they're in the zone where they want to promote the films, but they also don't want to set up expectations that they're going to Disney Plus and you're just going to wait. Because if it comes up in that coming soon bar, people will be like, well, I'm not going to go cinema because it's coming soon. And they're going to wait. Even though we know it is. And but I think there's that kind of thing. If you see it within the app, it's kind of like not really going to work. And I think you don't really want Disney Plus filled up with, you know, generic interviews and stuff. You know, that's what YouTube's for. And yeah, there's a kind of line of like, you know, where you don't really want to. I don't think they use it enough. I mean, I always thought the idea of what they did like with the Disney Insider show before kind of COVID hit and it kind of destroyed that show. But something along those lines with some promotion makes a lot of sense. And I definitely agree with you about the idea of putting things on there. But I think maybe a trailer and a little landing page and just... But as far as like buying tickets, that's very tricky because suddenly then you've got to have different platforms that you can buy tickets from. Different countries have different systems. You know, like there's no point sending me to Fandango because none of that works over here. So yeah, there's going to be that different thing as well, and it makes it a lot more complicated. And ultimately, you're then funding somebody else's. It's you know, and then what about like your local independent and all that? It's very tricky, I think, with cinema tickets. But it is a really good idea, and I'm surprised they've kind of got the extra tab. I mean, that might be a good place just to, you know, if you've got like Elio, you can go in there and you can see some bits and pieces in there. That might be a way of using it a little bit more. I don't really want the whole front page just fill up with like marketing for like going and seeing like Haunted Mansion right now. It's a bit of a tricky line, but definitely think there's a lot of elements to that I think are pretty cool. The bit about theme parks and etc., things like that, I think that would be a great idea. As someone that loves going to Disney theme parks, you know, started going on Disney cruises and love them, and you know they've also got like Adventures by Disney. There's a lot of great stuff out there. The trouble is they've kind of got a line of becoming an advert within there. Now I do think there's a lot of synergy that they could do, and having a section within there. The trouble is a bit, you know, they could have guides for going to all the theme parks. They do a lot of this stuff on YouTube, putting in like, you know, maybe they could put in like recorded podcasts. It's a very fine line between hints and tips that you get from the official like places to what you get from unofficial places. That's, I definitely feel like YouTube kind of fills in that void. And there's a lot of YouTubers and stuff that, you know, like I was, you know, going on a cruise earlier this year. I'm checking out mainly the unofficial tips, because the official tips sometimes are a little bit, it's more in their favor, whereas the tips that are coming from like other travelers are more in our favor. And, you know, and they kind of, you know, I think that's definitely a way of looking. I think there should be a little bit more in there. And I think it'd be nice to see like some more deeper dives into these kind of things. I think it would be nice, but you also, Disney, and especially Disney, are notoriously bad at kind of turning this kind of content into essentially just a commercial, and they don't play as well on these kind of social things. It's a very, very tricky line. I mean, I think things like the Magic of Animal Kingdom kind of works a little bit more because it's an actual show, but sometimes they get a little bit like, yeah, it's just a little bit tricky. But it'd be nice to have like a little maybe a collection, so you can get all like the episodes of like the sitcoms and stuff that have been there. Some of the specials, Imagineering story. I would love to see more stories, more stuff like that, and some general hints and tips and stuff. But are people going to YouTube for that, or more for streaming? But nevertheless, let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsonatdisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. And I shall see you guys soon. Later.